The peace of God is not the peace that comes because things are calm. The peace of God is actually an insurance that God gives you because things will be stormy. So in Philippians chapter 4 verse 7, he says, the peace of God, this is the watching that stabilizes all things. He said that peace shall keep your hearts and minds. So you don't know why there is so much peace in the place of prayer. It is not because of now. Are you hearing me now? Something is coming in future that is going to shake you heavily. Before that time comes, what will happen? Peace. So when people are now shaking, God will remind you, my daughter, my son, remember that day in place of prayer? I spoke to you. I gave you this. That thing I gave you was for a day like this. It's called the peace of God. In Colossians 3 verse 15, Paul was speaking. He said, and let the peace of God rule. That word rule in Greek is the same word as govern. He says, let the peace of God govern. It means that what God expects is that the dominant posture of your heart always should be what? Peace. He said, to which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. So there's nothing that should make you perplexed for once. It's a sense. It's actually one of the senses of the spirit. Peace. You don't know the profit of peace when things are calm. The profit of peace is when things become turbulent. In the book of Acts, Paul was sailing on a very turbulent sail. And people began to speak of loss of life and loss of things. You know what Paul told them? He said, the angel of God, of whose I serve and whose I am, had appeared to me this night and told me what? There shall be no loss of what? Lives. So that was what made Paul rest. Did you hear what I said here? Peace. Have you checked yourself? Do you have peace? That thing you're about to do, do you have peace? That decision you're about to make, do you have peace? Because every time God wants to show you that I am with you in this thing, how will he give you the feedback? Peace. Many times when turbulence comes, the goal of turbulence is to make you forget that God had given you peace in the first instance. Job was a man that went through a lot of things. You know, the first time when they told Job that, see, oh, this happened though, all your camels were lost. You know what Job did? He didn't feel anything. Nothing happened. I alone escaped. Nothing happened. As they kept talking to him, at some point they told him, sir, can I shock you? All your children, they were gathered in one place. The roof of the building fell and all of them died. And the man that was telling him was not one of his sons, was a servant. So it meant all of Job's children died in one day. That one hit home straight. The Bible said Job carried dust. Meanwhile, when Moses was going through the storm, the Red Sea was in front of him, and behind him was Pharaoh. Guess what happened? Red Sea in front, behind him was Pharaoh. Crying to God, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? God told him, how did you cry to me? He said, hold your peace. It means in the midst of this, peace is still present. Find that peace where I gave you. Find that peace where I gave you. Carry them now. Now you need that peace. You cannot think straight when there is no peace. You cannot have correct judgment when there is no peace. Find your peace and hold on to it. He said after that you will now see the salvation of the Lord. The salvation of the Lord is coming when there is already peace at work.